Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of 442. Once again, this is your boy Christian, and we are going to be talking MLS. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Twitch channel 442 on there, of course, and Instagram and Twitter, of course, there. We're trying to get a little bit, 2024 started a little bit late for us. Obviously, we're in the middle of February, and, just when I get busier at work, family, and everything, I decide to throw more things on my plate, and this is where we are today. But with the MLS starting up, literally tomorrow night, the Houston Dynamo will start their season officially as they play their first game of the year. They play the CONCACAF Champions Cup. By winning the U.S. Open Cup last year. They beat Miami. They went into this international cup where they're going to be playing basically the best of the conference, or not the conference, but the whole region, I guess we could say, right? So the whole North American region, or CONCACAF as they call it. The same way you have like UEFA Cup and Champions League over there. In Europe, this is our Champions League, right? So obviously the teams are a little bit different, but actually Houston has a really, really tough opponent, which is going to be St. Louis City FC, who happens to be one of the toughest teams from last year. Actually, last year they came in first place on the West side of things. And they lost in the first round of the playoffs, but, they had a really good year for their inaugural year. It was actually the first year in the MLS, and they were able to basically put on a good shift, throughout the whole season. And they were able to kind of take that, under their belt, having a really, really good season. But, season 2, things changed. We saw Austin. Austin came also very, very strong their first season. Second season was very, very trashy. And they're just kind of trying to get a footing, and that's kind of what St. Louis is trying to do as well. There's also a bunch of rebrands, not a bunch of rebrands, only like one. Seattle had a rebrand, and then a bunch of jerseys. I think we should probably look at those jerseys. Honestly, we have been 11 must-see jerseys. So let's see what MLS decided to pick, because every single team basically had a new jersey, either a home or an away jersey. And obviously there was a lot of different, not topics, but like different ways of seeing. Let me just go back to OBS just to make sure the chat is good in there. And this guy, bro, I just got in here. You're already spamming my shit, bro? Come on, dog. Definitely make sure you're posting off stream stuff to grow the stream. I appreciate that. Not sure what you wanted. I see UBS. I'm actually reading backwards. But this guy said, guaranteed content. Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer a promotion of your channel, viewers, etc. The price is lower than... Bro, I ain't paying for shit. I barely have money. Leave me alone. But I appreciate the offer. Guaranteed whatever content for. But, we'll stick to our free shit. But yeah, let's go back here. Sam Jones. He picked the 11, best jerseys. So we're going to go through them real quick. Obviously, if you are listening to the podcast, we'll do the best to kind of describe this to you. But if you're watching, obviously, this is great. Chicago Fire returned to red. Obviously, Chicago Fire is known for the red. Even their logo looks different because there is no blue on it. So obviously, they did that for that. I don't know if you see right here on the top. And this is the original. I don't know if you can see it right there, but this one looks pretty clean. Obviously, Adidas has a stronghold on the MLS, or in the MLS, or on the MLS. So every single kit, or every single shirt that you're going to see will be Adidas. I really love Adidas. The whole change that they did are, from having the word Adidas on the bottom to just having the simple 3 stripes. But in this one, the details are where everything kind of lies, right? So that blue little stripe right here kind of going across, beautiful there. Carvana kind of fits right there in that pattern in the middle. So pretty good. The logo, beautiful. Matt Wolf, if I'm not mistaken, is the one that designed it. So the Chicago Fire kind of went through a couple of trash designs, and they ended up going with this one, which looked really, really good. Simple, but good. Obviously, to the fire, kind of like the fireman thing on the outside, the C for Chicago, and then the little stars to kind of complement the flag of Chicago. The 4 stars and Por Siempre Rojo, basically an ode to the Hispanic community, a very, very big Mexican community in Chicago. I think one of the biggest after LA, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty cool. I mean, it's in the top. It's in the top for sure. Obviously, it's very simple, but I think, going to the return to red, I think obviously that's where they were trying to go with the Columbus Crew home kits. This one, I don't know if you guys seen Charlie Brown, but there's a lot of Charlie Brown vibes. But the Chicago Columbus Crew, the last champions of the MLS, the heart of the American soccer. So a lot of people, when they talk about Columbus Crew, they talk about how big of a soccer town it is, and honestly, it kind of seems like it is, right? So the UMN's national team goes there a lot. They play a lot there. Columbus is kind of known for being a big soccer community outside of outside of their Columbus Crew squad. And one of the things that they did as well was that Columbus Crew was actually going to become Austin FC at one point in time, because the owner was going to move Columbus, and the people basically kind of rally around Columbus, and they kept Columbus Crew in Columbus. They did go through a little rebrand of their logo as well. They used to have like literally three guys, the silhouette of three guys on it, and now they have just like a simple C with kind of like another design. Honestly, I don't know what that weird design is, but I'm sure there's a reason behind it. But this one's pretty simple. Obviously, the black stripe down the middle is not just your regular like Chicago Fire stripe just going straight across. It kind of has a design to it. It's pretty cool. It's different, kind of like a thunderbolt, mirroring each other. So I love black and yellow. Yellow is my favorite color, so any yellow kits will probably have my love. And also, I love the black with the black stripes and the yellow with the black with the yellow and the yellow with the black. I think it goes very well. Even the socks are pretty nice. They're simple, but they're badass. FC Dallas Afterburner kit. So FC Dallas, that was kind of weird. Yeah, let's watch this video. I probably would have kicked off.
All right, guys, we started a new era. We lead the match.
Okay, guys.
Now it's time to kick in the
Let's see.
afterburner.
I mean, I'll be honest. Obviously, as a Houstonian, I am obligated to hate Dallas, but let's see what this continues. I've already seen the kid, and I have kind of my opinions on it, but I'm trying to see if they can change my opinion. I doubt it, because Dallas sucks, but we'll see how it goes.
DFW is fast-paced and innovative. It has always pushed the limits by kicking it up a notch. From its humble beginnings as a frontier town to the metroplex that it is now, tradition and innovation have always been in the forefront. This kit not only represents the forward progression of our club's journey to aim high, but
I hate that FC Dallas also represents Texas. Because it's like, bro, you're not even from Texas. Is Dallas Tech? I mean, I guess it is, right? But the way that I see it is kind of like almost Southern Oklahoma in a way.
red gradient in our threads personifies the combustion of fire and energy from our fans, just like an afterburner. It represents our desire. It represents the belief that together, our potential is limitless. With this kit, it's time to shift into another gear.
Players, you're clear for kickoff.
DFW, it's time to kick in the afterburner.
The pitch and sky are yours.
Introducing the Afterburner Kit.
All right.
All right, with all due respect, whoever is doing the whole talking, kind of trash. But I guess the concept is interesting. Afterburner. I didn't know that FC Dallas was like a big Jets or, you know, military town or whatever it may be. I don't know. But I guess the kid is it's not my favorite, to be honest. That blue to red is not like my favorite, but you know, it is what it is. Let's see if people are still chatting. Hey, sorry for bothering you, Bobo. What's Gucci, bro? Welcome. I know we're gonna talk. I don't know if we'll get to the Dynamo jersey, but I know you hate it, Chris. But it is what it is. We'll see what reasons you have. LAFC primary kit. So obviously this one, It's very kind of basic, right? Just black with pink, not pink, gold stripes. It's pretty classy. I mean, black is always classy, and especially if you add like some touches of gold. It's not like it's not a wow, like that's a badass, kit. I mean, yeah, just kind of there. Just a regular ass kit for me, to be honest. See, like Minnesota United Starry Night kit, they did something different. So let's see here what these people did. 30 seconds. Starry Night kit. Hey. I feel like you should start rapping. So funny enough, I've been probably following the MLS a couple of years now, like at least 2-3 years, right? Because I've been following the Dynamo, but I don't know shit about the MLS. When it comes to like players and stuff like that, there's so many teams, bro. So this year, I kind of made it my thing to continue or try to follow the MLS as much as I can. My head, it's always kind of like going everywhere. But this year, hopefully by doing, so me and Rudy from Bayou City Soccer, shout out to Bayou City Soccer. That's my boys right there. But me and Rudy from Bayou City Soccer, we do a show in Spanish. So hopefully we'll start doing it here soon since the season's about to start on the Spanish radio, TUDN radio here in Spanish. So it's like a sports radio in Spanish. And we do like a 30-minute segment about the MLS on Cesar Procel's show, which is called Encanchados, which goes from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. in the, I guess, morning, going into the afternoon. Every day from Monday through Friday here on 93.3. So go check that out. If not, you can find the Euphoria app and you can listen to that there. And I've been trying to get to it, obviously, get to know players. Obviously, you only know the most popular ones or the teams that are doing better. Minnesota did not have a great year. Therefore, wasn't paying attention to them a lot. And obviously, I have no idea who this gentleman is and who the other gentleman is. But I guess, we'll see if the year goes well for them. We'll get to know them. Story Night. But this game's pretty dope, not gonna lie. Presented by Target, obviously. They're the Target team, as my wife calls it. So it's pretty dope. I don't know if you saw it, but it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. This one, it's different, right? New York Red Bulls Legacy kit. It's pretty dope, not gonna lie. It has very like Inter Milan vibes. That's kind of what it brings me to, just in red and black instead of blue and black. So I just kind of leave it at that. But it's pretty cool. The Red Bull logo is obviously ginormous, but it's always it's kind of like eye-catching, so it's a good logo to have. Orlando City Legacy Kit. Let's click on it. Let's YouTube it, my friend.
Celebrating our 10th MLS season is a milestone that deserves honor.
X.
But it's important to remember that our journey began long before that inaugural season. Just ask our supporters. We've had to earn their trust, engage with our community, hoist a few cups, and even build a new home, just to make it to our first MLS match.
Kaká. Isn't it crazy that Kaká, one of the biggest players in the world, played for Real Madrid, Champions Leagues with Real Madrid, champion of the world, if I'm not mistaken, with Brazil, played in Orlando. That's wild.
Come and players go. Results ebb and flow, but some things endure. Our undying passion, relentless dedication, unyielding spirit, and one immutable truth.
Hey, Lodeiro. So the guy that they just showed, Lodeiro. Let me see. Where you at, dog? This kid. He actually almost signed for the Dynamo. So isn't that wild? That would have been badass. Especially now that a couple of guys went down with injuries.
You can't create purple without red.
Alright, hold on. Let's go back. Show me the...
This is the legacy, kid. Honor thy history.
Okay, that. So this, or just in case you didn't know, Orlando City actually started as a kind of like a second division team. Obviously, here soccer in the United States is a little bit different. So they weren't in the MLS to begin with, and then they kind of bought into the MLS, and that's when they changed their logo. Their logo now is kind of like a lion with like a sun around it in a way. It's a little bit different, obviously, but back in the day, this one, as the kids say, this one goes hard. So they usually wear purple, and I guess now they're going to the white and red, more stuff to celebrate their ex. Celebrate their ex. Funny. And I think that kid is Argentinian, if I'm not mistaken. But that was that. Let's move on. Philadelphia Union. I can't remember what it looked like, but Philadelphia Union usually has fire kids. Fire kids. Let's go check this one out. The X5, the 15-year anniversary kit. Oh, I remember now. The one that looks like a snake. Bro, you going so fast, dog? I hate these reels, videos. There's no music, there's no sound, just a bunch of fast ass pictures. Bro, y'all trying to give me like what's it called when like your flashless lights? You get an epilepsy or something? I don't know. But the jersey itself, it looks pretty dope, not gonna lie. The whole like kind of snake skin going through the middle, dope. Portland Timbers. So Portland Timbers kind of came out with a weird looking thing. Just kind of, or like an off-white shell, eggshell white with like a bunch of pine trees on the sides.
The wild spaces of Oregon are truly inspiring.
Very, before even seeing this video, very woke kid.
If you listen closely.
Maybe not woke, but very like Pacific Northwest. Also, one pimple, two pimples. It's okay. I have a bunch of pimples myself.
You'll hear the way it speaks to your soul.
The bella.
Telling its story. And opening your eyes to its stirring strength. When we find ourselves amongst its one.
It's funny because I shit on them, but I would love to go visit Portland. It's one of the teams that I actually started following like in 2015, 2016. Not even following it, but if they were on, I would watch them. Especially because during that time they were winning a lot. So I just kind of got a little thing to them.
Gripped by the crisp air. Brought home by the smell of wet leaves and rich soil.
Tree boy.
We feel alive. And called to show the world what we were born to do.
Nature unites us. That was the most Portland video I've ever seen in my entire life. Obviously, it's a gray background and then just trees, and all the men have beard, and then they'll have puffer jackets, and everybody wears flannel. Portland in a nutshell. We're also like Peak Utah kit. Oh, this one's pretty dope. Not gonna lie.
Life here is shaped by our mountains. The trees and deserts tell silent stories of resilience, perseverance, and determination.
Who cracks their fingers like this? Relax.
Success isn't guaranteed. It's earned. And just like our backyard, that's something we embrace, cherish, and carry everywhere we go.
Sheesh.
I guess you could say Utah is just built different. We are Real Salt Lake, and this is Peak Utah.
It's pretty dope. I think the video is cooler than the actual jersey. It's cool that they used like rock climbers to, obviously represent the actual mountains. And you know the what's it called, the guy on the board, not a skier, whatever it is, to kind of also represent the other side, right? On, I guess, rock climbers on the summer, the snowboarder, there you go, on the winter, and then soccer kind of in between, right? It's pretty dope. You know, some San Lorenzo vibes from Argentina. Sounders kit. It's very like old school, kind of like 90s vibes, 80s vibes. Raúl Ruidías. Rusnak. Another Pacific Northwest like look. Like, I feel like this shirt has to be tucked in khaki pants that are what's it called when like they're like kind of like to your ankles in a way, like water race or whatever they're called, and then you wear like loafers. That guy's good. He's good looking too. So Portland, Seattle. This is their new logo right here, so it's pretty dope. And I guess their 50-year anniversary. They have a long history of soccer over there in Seattle. So shout out to those guys. I guess, yeah, 1974, 50 years. It makes sense if you do the math, I think. Yeah, because my dad just turned 53. He was born in 71. So those are Sam Jones. Pick those out. Those are going to be his picks. But here, let me go to the Twitter. Because I want, well, of course, son of a bitch. I'm not gonna log in. But Houston Dynamo. And guess who has a freaking new shirt that Chris hates? Let me see if Chris is still there. Chris, you still there, bro? Minnesota United made a better space jersey than Houston ever has. It's not really space, it's just the sky. I wonder if Portland jerseys are scratch and sniff. Bro, that would be so fucking dope. Lots of FC Basel type jerseys. I can see that. I can see that for sure. 1,000%. I can see that for sure. That's funny. Imagine if a jersey was scratch and sniffed. That would be amazing, bro. Okay, so this one obviously is giving a lot of different vibes because of the color purple, obviously, and everything what kind of represents, right, in a way, and what it doesn't represent. Some people will tell you that it represents one thing. Some other people will tell you that it represents other things. Me personally, I was able to see it live. I was lucky enough to be actually invited to the what's it called? The freaking jersey release party that was held at Cactus Music like a couple of days ago, or actually last week. And not gonna lie, in the beginning I was like, what the? It's kind of weird. But I kind of grew into it. I don't know if you guys remember that Screwstone jersey that Brian who actually designed this one. So if you're trying to blame anybody, blame Brian. But you know, he didn't I mean, it's dope. I like it. Don't give me the back. Give me the front. Give me a full frontal. Come on, Emma, whoever you are. See, like, it's not bad. I think it also, like, when we saw pictures of the players. Here, let me see if I can go to Instagram if it'll let me. Let's go. We'll go to, hey, you can see everything that I looked for there. No, Houston Dynamo. But they held that thing with the players that they went to talk to people. I guess I don't have that shit anymore. But it had the back of it is pretty dope. Like the numbers, like in the lighter color, they're freaking dope. I don't know. I really like it. Honestly, to me, the color purple, obviously, it does have the connotations of the whole lean stuff and kind of everything that kind of does that. But to me personally, it just reminds me of my middle school days. And I always tell people, yeah, I always tell people that one of my best years ever in my life was the year when I was 13. I don't know why. I feel like that's where I learned a lot. I probably had like my first girlfriend. I was like an 8th grader in middle school. Just the whole culture. Honestly, I've never done lean. I've only smoked weed once in my life. So it's not like I'm a whole like into the culture of drugs and all that stuff. So it's not. I'm not like a pothead or anything like that, right? And I'm not like drinking lean or whatever. I've never seen like an actual bottle of promethazine, whatever it's called. So it's not like I'm involved in that culture, but I feel like that, that rap, that chopped and screwed music is such a Houston thing that to a lot of people my age, at least, I know maybe not everybody relates to and also I think it depends on where you grew up, right? So I grew up kind of like in the southwest side of Houston, where I wasn't living in the hood. I always tell people that I was a hood adjacent. So I wasn't living in A-Leaf, but I feel like I was very close to A-Leaf, and I spent a lot of time in A-Leaf, just going to play soccer or, just with friends or whatever it may be, right? And obviously, I'm not saying A-Leaf is drugs or bad or anything like that, but obviously it has a reputation amongst Houstonians. It has a reputation among the city. It has a reputation of like different things, right? And also the south side of Houston, which is like, Mo City is kind of right next to it in a way, on the other side of the freeway in a way of 59. And, and then you have the south side, which is right next to that kind of. And the whole screw culture, the whole chopped and screwed stuff and, DJ Screw and all that stuff. And there was a lot of gang stuff going on in middle school, and I would see it firsthand, and, a bunch of fights and this and that. And obviously I'm not glorifying any of that. And I don't think, Brian, who or designed it or came up with the idea or the concept or whatever it may be, I don't think he has any of that, or he's trying to glorify any of that. But I think it just kind of gives him his childhood vibes, right? If you grew up in that, like, writing down, Dairy Ashford or like Bel Air or like one of these streets on the west side of Houston, you were most likely listening to Chopped and Screwed, or somebody around you were listening to Chopped and Screwed. Like if you, writing down Bissonnet. And even if you were Hispanic, like, the culture will influence you a lot. And I feel like that's part of it, right? Like just kind of your childhood growing up, that's just my take of it. I obviously don't understand, the purple is never there in the crest, but I can see how the purple resonates with the city, right? Also, I could be kind of not asshole-ish, but I could, come in here and tell you like, well, it kind of represents unity, because in a way it does, but it really doesn't, because, back in the day you had the whole north side versus south side type thing, Crips versus Bloods. And, if you put red and blue together, you get purple type thing. And it kind of, signifies the unity between the south side and the north side of Houston and all that. And obviously we had the boom in the early 2000s also with rap. Like I think Houston was on the map more than ever. You had your whole grills era and all that stuff. And that's where I grew up. And, knowing, I don't know Brian, like that, but I know he's my age and, maybe late 20s, early 30s. And I know he probably not represents his culture, but he grew up with this, and I know not every 30-year-old, is part of this, or, maybe you grew up kind of in the country, or, there's different cliques, right? But I feel like everybody was into like rap, or not everybody, but most of us were into the whole rap culture and this and that, and it just was kind of inevitable to kind of get away from it. If you were in a public high school, in a public place, you would always hear. So I don't know, that's my take on it. I really like it. Also, shout out to the Houston Dynamo organization. They did give me a jersey. It's one of the replicas, and I love it, honestly, and it is what it is. But I loved the Screwstone shirt. This one, it took me a little bit longer to get through those orange highlights. but it is what it is. I learned to love it. And I mean, I respect the opinion of the ones that don't love it. Also, I love the little Houston here on the bottom, the HOU with the little screw, on the Houston part of it. And then the backside, obviously, it says still holding on the backside of the neck. And I think it kind of represents all that, right? So, I don't know. That's my opinion. Looks more blue than purple in real life. Still here. There you go. Shout out. What colors or theme would you use to make a Houston jersey? I really don't feel like this jersey represents soccer culture in the city well. But that's the thing, though. What is soccer culture? You know what I mean? So, not to argue with you in a way, right, Chris? But what is soccer culture? I mean, when I think of soccer culture, because you can think of, so one of the things that I really want to do in the next coming years, God willing, and if I get fucking funds and people, I would love to make documentary, like a documentary style type thing of going to like different leagues in Houston, because I've heard of like full just African leagues of just African, people playing. Like it's just teams of people from Africa, like different countries, right? And they have like a kind of like a whole 100% African league. And also I've heard of Vietnamese leagues where it's 100% Vietnamese people. And you're like, well, that's wild. Like you can have a whole league of like 10, 15 teams of just one ethnicity or just one, like people from one country. Like that's wild. And then, you go to like the Hispanic communities and, you have places where you just have mostly Mexican, soccer players, or you go to another place where is a lot of Central American people, Hondureños, Salvadoreños, and stuff like that, and you're like, that's wild. Like it's crazy how we can live in a city. Obviously, it's one of the most diverse cities in the country, if not, I think it is the most diverse, and it's crazy because there's so many subcultures inside of this culture. Like when you think about like, there's like Polish people and like there's a community of that. There's a big Greek community, and I mean there's like community of literally almost every country in the freaking world, right? So obviously it is hard to kind of like, I don't know if it's hard to like pick and choose what you want to do. Obviously it would have been easier maybe, like let's just say they do a green Houston Dynamo jersey to kind of represent the Mexican part of it, but obviously somebody was going to get mad too, you know what I mean? Like it could have been easy. I mean, teams in fucking the Premier League do it, just to get that, Mexican dollar, basically. Wolves did it. They have no green whatsoever in their club history, and they did one just because of Raul Jimenez. Just people were doing green shirts just because they had Mexican players, or they could sell, to the Mexican audience, who we know now, like Mexico moves money when it comes to soccer, and it is wild. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I heard that Mexico is the country that takes the most people to the World Cups, which is insane. And it's funny because it's not even like Mexico. It is some like parts of Mexico, like Mexicans from Mexico, but a lot of them come from the United States, like Mexican Americans. And obviously that's a whole culture of itself. Like, you have the American culture, the Mexican culture, and then you have Mexican Americans, which are, a world of itself type thing. Like you have Tex-Mex food, which is not Mexican food, is literally Tex-Mex. Obviously is kind of like Texan food with Mexican roots in a way. So it's, I don't know, it would be cool to kind of sit down, honestly, with like a creative team or whatever, maybe, or just kind of call the community. But then, who do you call? You know what I mean? And just be like, okay, what are some ideas? What can we do? I mean, it could, that's the thing, Houston could be a gazillion things. And I feel like this one itself was just kind of like an ode to a childhood of whoever made it. And I think it just plays to that. And I mean, I don't know if you, Chris, or, whoever the listener is, if y'all can relate to this, but me, myself, as a 30-year-old, well, I'm 31, about to be 32, but me as a 32-year-old kind of Argentinian kid that didn't learn English till his 7th, 8th grade, like I grew up my first like English, not first English words, but like me learning English was with like rap music and watching MTV. And that's literally when Mike Jones, Paul Wall, Slim Thug, Chamillionaire, all those guys, Lil Flip, they were all popping. So like when I crossed like Lil Flip in the stadium, you know, in the back of the house, one time I crossed them, it was kind of like, damn, like I was kind of starstruck because I was like, this fucking Lil Flip, bro, like game over Flip, you know, like game over. You know, you like this dude without knowing, he was like part of moments in my life where, you know, hearing that song literally translates me to a, you know, a time, a place, and like a space where I had good memories, which was my middle school. Obviously, it's not the same for everybody. Maybe you got your ass whooped, but you know, with Lil Flip playing in the ground, and you're like, man, fucking hey, Lil Flip. But I guess, you know, that's just kind of the way that things work, right? Like certain smells like transport you somewhere and stuff like that. But I don't know. That's my experience. That's why I like mine. Obviously, you're gonna have your reasons not to like it, and you know, I read on the Reddit of a guy that actually grew up in this environment, in like a hood environment, he said, or she said. And he saw a lot of his family members die and pass away because of drugs, because of, you know, gang culture, and because of that. And obviously his experience with The Color Purple, his experience with Chopped and Screwed, his experience with, you know, this type of music or this environment that this music represents is a negative one. So when he saw this, he was like, I fucking hate it. And that's valid, you know? And I think obviously that's where opinions are formed, right? Like if you, I think most, right? And obviously case by case, but I think most opinions are valid as long as you have a reason for your opinion in a way, right? And I think this person has a great opinion, or not a great opinion, but has an understandable opinion of why he hates the fucking Purple Kit. The same way I have my opinion of why I love it. So I think it's one of those things that, you know, you either hate or either you love. I think some people, I don't know if people hated the black kit or not, but, you know, maybe some people did. You know, maybe they were like, why are we going black? We have, like, why? We live in Houston, 1,000 degrees in the summer, and we're going to wear black. You know what I mean? So I guess it goes part of, like, you know, you growing up, or part of who you are as a person, or your experiences lived. Obviously that has to do a lot with what you like and what you don't like. You know, I don't like red and white because I grew up a Boca Juniors fan and I hate River. So if I were given a chance to wear something blue or something red, I'm gonna go blue 1,000% most of the time. And that's why yellow is probably my favorite color, because I saw it so often. I mean, one of the shirts that my dad wears almost at least once or twice a week is a yellow long sleeve Argentina shirt, and Boca Juniors shirt that he has been having since we were in Argentina. So that's 20 years that I've been seeing this man wear this shirt at least once a week. And when I see yellow, when I think yellow, I think of my dad. I think in the love that he transferred, you know, of Boca to me, and I'm trying to like kind of pass it on to the kids, and, you know, whatever it may be. So it's memories, it's experiences, and I think that's what they kind of went with. And of course, you know, you're not gonna like Swangus, you're not gonna like, you know, a certain type of car. I think it's beautiful. I see it as art. You know, some people see it as ghetto and shit, which is valid too. You know, some people can be ghetto, and I guess that car could be ghetto. But the way that I see it is like, man, it could be art, you know, to some people, and just taking care of your car the way that they take care of them, you know, the paint, and, you know, doing candy paint is not just like a regular ass paint job. You know, it requires, you know, I worked at a body shop and I worked with a guy that painted, and he would tell me, he's like, candy paint, it ain't easy, bro. Like, it takes practice, and it looks like shit if you don't know how to do it. Like, it takes money, it takes practice, it takes time, and it goes, you know, with a lot of other stuff. But, you know, like I said, you are free to like it. You are free not to like it. And that's just the way that I see it. I don't know if you have anything else to say, Chris. Oh, you do. Okay, let's see. He says, There you go. Make a Mexican themed color jersey or a Nigerian themed jersey. They make up a big part of the soccer culture here. And I don't even like Mexico or non-US country soccer wise like that. See, valid point. We need a humidity themed jersey or a jersey that tells you the current heat index. Hey, that would be dope. Imagine, you know those you know how you were talking about the scratch and sniffs? We can do like, you know, if you get those mugs and you put hot water on them, they change colors. We should do something like that. As the more they sweat, the color turns like different colors, like it turns red or some shit. Not red because Dallas, you know, but like, I don't know, a different color. That would be dope. But with that being said, I don't even know what time it is. It's 11. Okay, so we're about 45 minutes in. I guess we'll fucking make it an hour since we're here. Still holding. We'll take Bossy out of here. But those are some of the jerseys, right, that everybody kind of has been going on. There's a bunch of other ones that obviously are not here. But obviously, let's see if I can find. Okay, MLS jersey. See every new kit. I'm over here dying. I'm getting off a cold. So here's the Atlanta shirt. It's basic. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you have to see it like in person to kind of figure it out. But Atlanta United win with the Phoenix. I think it's part of like their resurgence kit. Armadillo kit. Whack. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think they have a phoenix in their flag and their city flag or something like that. So that they went with that. Armadillo, I guess the yellow is kind of like the color of the armadillo. I don't know. I'm learning to like really, really hate Austin and just kind of anything that they do. I'm starting to hate green. It's just kind of like, you know, type thing. It's cool that they have an address, I guess, on the back of the neck. I don't know what that means. Barn Springs, I guess that's where everybody goes to smoke weed. It is what it is. Their tree is kind of there. Yeti. I think Yeti, though, is one of the best sponsorships that any team has. The armadillo on the thing is kind of whack, but I guess they like armadillos. What? It's such a weird hippie town. This is Portland in Texas. Literally. Like, if you look at the Portland shirt, if you look at the Austin shirt, they're basically the same thing, just kind of differently, right? But that's when you know Austin is kind of like the West Coast in Texas, in a way. Here we go, Charlotte. Charlotte is pretty dope, too. It kind of, you know, ode to the water, to the coast, to the Carolina blues, what they call it, right? So they have the different shades of blue, kind of going from white, light, darker, darker, darker. It's pretty cool. We'll see how that looks in person, but it's pretty dope. We talked about Chicago, and, you know, just straight classy red in a way. This one's pretty simple and just kind of plain, you know, white with just the little accents on the side. There's not much to it. Cincinnati, you could do better. This one's kind of weird. Colorado fucking win Croatia, like Croatia on drugs. Checkerboard type thing. Yeah, not my favorite. Not my favorite. We talked about this one. This one's kind of good. It's all right. I like the yellow, so that's fine. See, this one's kind of weird. It also has purple. It's, you know, red and blue, purple. I don't know. It has obviously potential, but I just hate Dallas, so I'm just going to hate this shirt. Black, you can probably never go wrong with black, especially with red accents. That's dope. And also, I like these little patches, whatever the heck they are. It looks different. I guess they make little squares. We'll give them a pass. I'm starting to hear noises now. Houston, obviously, with the whole purple. We talked about this for like 45 minutes. So we'll go through it. We'll let you have your thoughts. Sporting Kansas City, kind of staying true to the little whatever the diamond things. I like it. It's pretty dope. It's kind of simple. And, you know, just 3 SKC, you know. I think they need to redo their logo. I think their logo has a lot of potential to be a lot better. So maybe in the next few years, if you're listening, Kansas City players, Kansas City people, do your logo, man. I think it could be a lot better. It's kind of old school. This one's trash, bro. What the fuck is this? This is LA Galaxy. It's just white with lines. Oh, I guess I see this through the middle. They went kind of backwards. But it's pretty bad. Trash. We talked about this one. This one's simple. Obviously, the gold gives it a touch. Shoulder to shoulder. 32.52. Plastic. Club. Sorry if you're an LAFC fan and watching this. Messi and freaking Miami. This shirt is fucking trash. I like the pink. Just as a color. I think this is a bad shirt, to be honest. Like, this whole collar section of it is terrible. The Caribbean thing and the logo is too much going on in one portion of the thing. The Adidas kind of fucks it up right there. It's just bad. Honestly, it's just a bad shirt. It's just bad. I'm starting to hate Miami. You know, even though I like Messi as a person and I like him as a player, obviously Argentina champion and all that, I'm just starting to hate Miami little and little. Like, ugh, just so much. Minnesota, we talked about this one. This one's dope. The blue lights or whatever they call it, up in the skies, the northern lights, the little starry night is pretty dope. Obviously that blue. I think it would have been badass if every shirt had like a different blue design. I guess they all have the same one, but how awesome it could have been if it was like one of one type thing. But obviously it would have cost a shitload of money, so probably not. This one's pretty trash, not gonna lie. It looks like a spine of a fish kind of going through it. I work with fish. This is promising. I don't know what that is, but I like the simplicity of just like having little logos. Oh, there he is up top. I guess the front is the French shit. The French shit. Obviously, I am a great I can speak. But it's pretty bad. It's blue with a fish spine through the middle. This one has a really Boca vibes with the dark blue. Obviously, Boca would be more towards the middle. I kind of fuck with it. I kind of don't. I just think the blue is too high. Obviously, it's me being biased. But I guess they didn't want to copy Boca. But this kind of looks like a weird stripe through the chest. This one's kind of, it's simple, but it's nice. It's blue with the red shoulders. This is Revolution. Obviously, they did also go through a little change of logo. It looks a lot better. It looks like River Plate almost. And the little dots looks pretty simple, but kind of dope, kind of classy. New York Red Bulls. We talked about it. Inter Milan of the U.S. This one goes hard. It's simple, but the fact that they kind of divided it in half, one blue, one orange on one side on the other. I don't understand how the orange and light blue kind of go. I guess the Knicks, right? I guess that's where they're kind of going with. Kind of keep it New York City type thing. Keep it a one vibe. I guess the Jets fuck it up, right? I don't know if the Jets represent New York City, but I think all their teams should have the same colors. So this one's pretty dope because it's half and half. My back is about to get a cramp for some reason. Orlando, well, not for some reason. I've been sitting kind of weird. I need to figure something out. I need to get a bigger, like a tall chair. Okay, Orlando, here we go. We talked about it. It's simple, but I think obviously the old school logo kind of gives it a little bit. But honestly, this is kind of trash still. The Philadelphia Union shirt, obviously giving the ode to the little snake in the middle. I really love their little logo. I think this one's pretty dope. See, this is a really good version of how they centered of everything. Kind of looks badass. I think that stripe through the middle helps that because it kind of hides it. But the yellow Adidas is pretty dope. We already talked about Scratch and Sniff. We already talked about Real Salt Lake. Earthquake's kind of trash. It's just simple white. They also kind of went old school with the old school logo, but it's still trash. It's just white and red on the sides. Nothing too much to it. This one's kind of cool. Obviously, the green, the old school green, the 70s, 80s vibes with the light blue. Pretty cool. It seems like a shirt that you could wear, like I said, with khaki pants and like loafers. St. Louis, do better. White and red, trash. Toronto, if this one is trash, you are more trash because you ain't even got nothing. Fuck out of here. This one's pretty cool. It's just one. Obviously, it's one solid color, but it's a dark color, and then it has the other stripes. They went with the 50-year logo or something like that. Yeah, 50 years. Pretty cool. Obviously, is a change, and I think that's the last one. Yeah, Vancouver is the last one, the 50th kit. And I think that's it, man. I think we're gonna call it a day. Let me see, Chris, you still here? Ideas. Can you bring up some of your top Volt League jerseys? It looks like Dynamo, SKC, Derby. Yeah, that's true. Let me let's do that. Fuck it. Let me see. Let me go to the Instagram of Volt. So Volt is also kind of sponsored by Adidas, so all the shirts are going to be Adidas, and they're also kind of simple. You know, obviously it's not like you don't have the great production, but also let me show you this one. This one is from a team that is pulling up next season. Obviously it's black with the gold markers, or like the gold to kind of reflect the logo. So I don't know if you know, but Sebastian, this guy right here, Top Striker 9, he is the creator, the mastermind behind the whole Volt League, and he redesigned their logo. So if you go to HTX Dynasty FC, this is kind of what they had going on at one point in time, right? So it's kind of clip arty, you know, no disrespect. And Dynasty FC, and then, you know, Sebastian kind of with his low expertise, he gave him this one, which obviously it kind of looks, it's kind of like an ode to Chelsea in a way, right? Or like the Netherlands, but obviously it still has the shield that they kind of wanted, and, you know, just a simple circle in a way, right? But I love this freaking lion thing, right? And I think it's pretty dope. And obviously you can play around with the colors. You can have white, gold, and black. And the jersey obviously has a even with the simplicity of the shirts, you know, they're still kind of dope in a way. So I don't know if you like it, but obviously, like I said, the budgets are completely the opposite. But I think these are cool. So this is Houstonians. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you heard it, but Houstonians is a really it's a club from the city of Houston. They do have like an academy. Obviously there's just like a plain red. So Houstonians always were red. So, but if you also look at these numbers though, shit, like these are, if I'm not mistaken, these are created by Sebastian. So he kind of came up with that font. But the black jersey okay, so let's keep going. This is AC Juniors. Obviously, it's also Simple Red. Far Out is one of the sponsors. Shout out to Far Out. Far Out is actually a pretty badass. Let me see if they're tagged. Yeah, they are tagged. They're like a Far Out football club. So growing football culture is more aesthetic. So they're like a lifestyle brand type thing. I don't know if they have a team, but it's a badass brand. So check them out. Let's see here. You have Ghost Town Saints, which is like they do the white and black. Ghost Town Saints is pretty dope. Like I said, you know, these are simple jerseys. But, you know, they also have the little things to them. Obviously, you can't really see them that well. This is green flag. Obviously, a green. The things on the side. This is Inter. But so all the logos were created by Seba. So there's the green flag crest that he made for them. The Inter crest that he designed for the Inter. But see, this one is dope because it has the little lines. And this is the away kit. So all the teams have a home and away kits. And then we go. This is Night Watch. So they're blue. Obviously, just, you know, simple, but every team has their. And also they have an away jersey. And then this is Frankfurt. Oh shit. Actually, they have their own page too. So I guess we can check these out. But these are some of the shirts that they wore in the past. So this one's pretty dope. Kind of with the lines going across. And yeah. But this is Frankfurt Athletic logo and crest. Oh, and I said Night Watch also has their own. Let me see. They have their own Insta. And that's where they keep their stuff. And that's their logo. The logo was also recreated. So FC Night Watch. So it's in there. Pretty subtle, but you know it's in there. And we used to actually wear Umbro. And look at this. Look how crazy that is, right? So this is how the logo started. It's crazy how people kind of, the evolution of design as well. And now this is where we're at right now. So it's pretty dope, right? Like, that's crazy. Let me see. Actually, let's just fucking go to the Vault League website. What am I doing? Literally everything is there. So the Vault League website, you see the Dynasty Football Club there. See, we'll go to teams, and that's where you have FC Seinfeld. Houstonians, obviously, they came in with their own logo, green flag. Houston Rovers, kind of some Roma vibes. Ghost on Saints, that one's pretty dope. FC Night Watch. AC Juniors, Matias Almeida FC, which obviously came with their own crest, but actually was redesigned because it used to be like a whole tiger standing up. Frankfurt Athletic, Inter. Those are the 10 teams that are competing right now. And actually, there's going to be a second division. And these are some of the teams. Longhorn FC, kind of, giving some UT vibes. Sudamérica Club de Fútbol. Ballers. Ballers Hub Football Academy. Houston United, who actually has their own little club. And Creative Football Studios redesigned their stuff. Real Houston FC, some Real Madrid type vibes. Warriors FC, and actually, if I'm not mistaken, U of H will also be playing in Division 2. Who, let's go here, actually also was, Creative Football Studios did design also their logo. Let me see if I go far enough. No, probably not. But, that's kind of like the gist of it, Like I said, it's a different type of thing. But this is another club that's gone. So University of Houston. Also, the logo was made by Creative Football Studios. And Pasadena Soccer Club. I don't know if he made it or not, but I'm probably sure he did. Probably not. I don't know. But let's go here. See, none there. But that's them. Actually, let's go follow them. Why not? And then you have the other teams. But yeah, that's that, bro. Sorry I bored you, but that Sheffield Wednesday Owl for that Night Watch. Probably look into that, of course. I don't think I've ever seen that one. Dynasty looks like a New Orleans Saints or Las Vegas Knights hockey team. Yeah, probably, right? But all right, man, I'm just gonna kill it here because I don't want to bore you to death. Appreciate you joining in. Like I said, we're probably going to try to do this every Monday. But every Monday at 10:30, I'll try to let you guys know. We're going to be doing this, looking at a bunch of different stuff, but we're going to be doing a lot of soccer, a lot of MLS content, and just a bunch of shit. We're probably going to watch videos and kind of talk about them and stuff like that. But without further ado, thank you. Gracias. I appreciate you jumping in. We'll see you guys next time, tomorrow. Choosing Dynamo. Let's go, baby. Let's go. And we're probably gonna do a spaces or some shit with the Bayou City Soccer boys, and then we're gonna do a roundtable on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna be a lot of content at Bayou City Soccer. Don't forget, stay tuned with the boys. Bayou City Soccer. Have a good night. Good night. What?